Hi everyone, it's Pastor Chris here, and it is December 31st of 22, and I know everybody is looking forward to kind of wrapping up this year and moving on into 2023. Well, I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about our year-end financial update at GBC, as well as an update on our 2023 budget. Before we actually launch into any specifics, I just want to thank you for your willingness to just give here. We have a very generous church in so many different ways, and we're just really grateful for all of you and your willingness to come alongside with your financial resources, as well as with your time and your talents here at Grace. Now, as we look back at 2022, again, very grateful. The budget has been met and, in fact, exceeded, and again we're so thankful for that across all levels, missions, internals here at the church, salaries across the board has really been fantastic. In fact, this particular year, 2022, has exceeded all expectations regarding our average Sunday attendance. That's the highest it's ever been. Our weekly giving is the highest it's ever been as well. And so what that does is it allows us to look at 2023 a little bit differently, asking ourselves, all right, Lord, what are you doing? And then what do you want us to be doing? And hopefully the two of those will mesh up. The biggest challenge that we looked at for 2023 regarding our church budget, to be very honest with you, is not only from the standpoint of where does God want us to be going, but to be honest with you, the whole idea of inflation has really impacted all of us. And I know it's impacted you as well. And so what we did from a salary section is we basically gave everybody an 8 to 10% increase across the board. Those of us like myself or Amy, Mason, and Josh from an hourly standpoint, as well as Justin and Philip. And that's reflective in that first section that you would see in your budget. And by the way, you can pick up a hard copy of that budget at the information desk, or you can just ask Amy or send her an email if you would like one of those emailed to you. And so as you look at those compared to 2022, you'll see that reflective increase in those salaries. We did the same thing with our missionaries across the board as well, and that's kind of our last section. And really the only change within our mission budget this year was to add Tim Stevick, who's endeavoring to go more full-time with Trans World Radio. It's a great opportunity for him. He's a perfect skill set for what they need from an IT perspective to help them in transmission of the gospel message, particularly in nations that are very difficult to access from a physical standpoint. And so Tim is kind of easing his way out of certain aspects of life and easing his way into Trans World Radio, and we're picking up a measure of that support. Some other local churches in the area are highly considering the same, and we look forward to how that's going to work out for him in 2023. If you look at the center section of our budget, which is more the general operations, the worship section, as well as the educational components, some of those aspects went up as well, again, somewhat due to inflationary costs. To be very honest with you, to just keep this building working, cleaned, making it look sharp, and I'm very grateful that this place has held up very well over the last 15 years or so. It takes resources to do that, and again, I know most of you are aware of that, but just mowing the lawns and having the back fields bush hogged went up significantly due to gas and labor hours, and so that is also reflective. Our electric costs went up somewhat as well, and so those costs are found within the budget too. But overall, the budget is reflective of those increases as well as inflation, but what we're proposing to you is still less than what is actually coming in per week. We're advertising around just under $10,000 a week, and we're currently bringing in between $10,500 and $10,700 a week. So we've budgeted underneath that, and we just want to try to be as fiscally responsible as we can, while at the same time moving forward in what we believe the direction is that God would have us to go. And then finally, to wrap all of this up, you'll see a section at the very end of the budget, and it's called capital expenditures. one of the things that we're looking at, and as you saw if you were here on Christmas Eve, is we are in some desperate need of parking, and that's a really good thing. And so we've hired some engineers, we've hired an architect, and we've had our first proposal to the county for additional parking out back between 40 and 50 spaces. And with all of the fees, the permitting, and the actual project, we're looking at around $200,000 expense for that. And that will be covered with existing resources that the church already has. We've been blessed to have between $450,000 and $500,000 in our existing savings, and those will go towards getting that taken care of. Now, in the year to come, you're going to be hearing from me and the elders, and probably from Amy as well, on some additional thoughts we have about how to use the back section of our property beyond parking. Would there be additional buildings out there? Will there be a pavilion concept and a children's play area? We're looking at all of these multifaceted concepts as we look forward to the next, say, 5 to 15 years of the ministry here at GBC. And then finally, one of the things that we briefly talked about, probably in the summer towards the fall, is that somebody was gracious enough to give us a significant gift towards upgrading the lighting in our sanctuary. You don't see that anywhere within our budget or as well as in the capital expenditures, because those resources were already given to us. But we hope to have some of that done in this first quarter of 2023. And so once again, to wrap this up, you can pick up a budget at the information desk out front. You can talk to Amy about having that emailed to you. We want you to review that. This is for members and even for non-members to look at. And over this next remaining week or week and a half or so, take a look at that. If you have any questions, please fire us an email or send us a text, or just talk to us, pull us aside. And we would like to go to vote on this next Sunday, January the 8th, and we do that by ballot. And if you would prefer email, we can do that as well. And then we simply move forward. Again, we're so grateful for your willingness to not only attend, but to really dive in and serve in so many different areas. And we're so grateful as well for your giving. Blessings to you over these next 24 hours as you wrap up 22 and you enter 2023. Happy New Year to you. And we look forward to seeing you here tomorrow morning for our one service only at 10:30 a.m. as we open up the new year, thankful to the Lord for what He's doing and what He's going to do here at GBC.